6 months ago, I made a decision that completely changed the trajectory of my life in reference to my home life, my financial life, and even my business life. That decision has now had significant returns off of that decision, but let me tell you, it hasn't been an easy road to get here. 6 months ago, I made a decision that I believed in Destined Rivals booster boxes so heavily that I was going to open credit cards in both my name and my wife's name. Obviously, she was on board. I didn't open the credit card in her name. Let's just clarify that right out the gate. We opened credit cards in each of our respective names for a total of about $14,000. And I bought 6 cases of Destined Rivals booster boxes. Now, at that point, they were what, $2,050 after shipping, taxes, all that fun stuff. So that completely changed the trajectory of everything. I had game planned it where I would utilize the business and my income from my job at the time to pay off the credit cards, and everything would be hunky dory, and there was nothing to worry about. Well, as life does what life does, in November, so a month and a half, let's just say 45 days after I made that decision, I decided that I was tired of the corporate world, that I would step out of those shoes and I would become a stay-at-home dad. I would stay home with the kiddos. They would go part-time over to my family's house where they would also watch them, but primarily I stay home with the kids, and I run this business as a quote-unquote side hustle. So I have been anticipating and waiting for Destined Rivals to continue to run. However, once it hit that $4,000 mark, like it did, 40 days ago now at this point, I was not able to pull the trigger because I believe in Destined Rivals long term. So all of that being said, I still have my cases of Destined Rivals. They sit in a very secured place with cameras, all that fun stuff, because we all know it's going to continue to rise and continue to grow, and maybe one day it'll pay off this house. Who knows? So I bring up my life decisions that have led me to this point, because as you continue to grow and you continue to operate your business, you see many YouTubers, many high-end streamers tell you never open credit cards, never put anything on credit that you can't afford, all those pieces, right? Those are, in fact, the right answers. I, however, was fortunate enough where I now have those credit cards paid off. With tax returns, with what's coming into the business, I was able to pull some out and pay it off. Now, mind you, I'm not putting that money back into the business. It's not snowballing. However, now I have, let's just say with the Destined Rivals and all my sealed, I'm sitting at about $35,000 in just sealed investments that in theory I could pull out. And I have a close friend of mine that has been trying to convince me of, hey, maybe it's time to pull some of it out. You're up, I think they're up to $3,400 now, so I'm up about $1,300 from where I purchased them. A comment was made of, hey, you could put that in singles, you could get bulk using that. That would be a hell of a lot of bulk cards. Probably fill this entire room with bulk. But anywho, I digress. So yeah, credit is not the best decision. However, if you are in a financial position that you can afford to leverage credit, it's a game changer. Because now it's completely paid off. Everything else is going to go back into the store now. So I don't have to worry about paying off credit cards. Wife's income pays for all the normal bills, right? As I continue to grow and scale this business, we are putting some away that maybe we need for a rainy day, all those pieces. But I continue to focus on scaling and growing the business, sending cards out to get graded, whether it's maybe I make other sealed plays. If you are going to, I'm going to push back a little bit. If you decide you are going to open a credit line to make those kind of decisions, make sure you are being smart. Make sure you are looking for a credit card that offers 12 months, 18 months, no interest for opening a new card, right? That allows you to pay it off, and you must have a game plan of, okay, I'm going to pay $400 off, $500 off this month. Make sure you do not get to that point where they accrue interest. Because a lot of those things, it's the total amount you've put on the credit card. So if you put $12,000 on the credit card with no interest for those 12 months, even if you have it down to 4,000, depending on the credit card you're using, some of them back charge. So they'll charge you for interest for the whole $12,000. So you want to make sure and read the fine print on your card and make sure you're making a smart financial decision. You do not ever want to put yourself in significant debt for Pokemon. That's, yes, life goals, right? We all have hundreds of thousands of sealed dollars in the closet and you can retire in 10 years, right? That's everybody's life goals that's in this space. Realistically, you have to have a plan of action of what comes next. And for me, what comes next now that the credit cards are paid off, I'm going to take the next 2 to 3 months to continue to scale and grow the business and put everything back into it. And then wife and I have talked, come probably August, September, I'm going to look at a different credit card. This time it was Discover. Maybe next time it's Chase or American Express or whoever's offering 12 months, 18 months, no interest that allows me, let's just say $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in credit between her and I to purchase it. Maybe at that point, Ascended Heroes will be a great buy. Maybe it'll still be $100, just like Prismatic was, stayed $100 for about 6 months, and then it moved. Look at Prismatic Evolutions right now. As of March 24th, 2026, not even 60 days ago, maybe 90 now, Prismatic Evolutions was still at $100 in ETB. Imagine if you had timed that. Or if, for example, if I had put my money into Prismatic Evolutions, the 10 grand into that rather than Destined Rivals, I would have doubled my money at this point. Again, I think Destined Rivals is the best long-term play, but if you're looking at short-term of buy, flip, all of those pieces, right? Prismatic Evolutions probably would have been the better play. And again, I want to reiterate something, and I cannot reiterate this enough. This is not me telling you to go sign up for a credit card. Do what is best for you and your financial situation. This is just me talking about my experience with Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals has treated me well. I could have easily sold it when it hit the $4,000 mark. Probably got what, $3,650 after fees and shipping, and I would have gotten $1,500 on each case. However, I'm looking for, I think we all agree Destined Rivals is going to be the big set of Scarlet and Violet from a booster box perspective. So my hope is maybe within the next 2-3 years, it hits $1,000 a booster box. That would be after fees, probably what, $5,500 per case. At that point, I could sell those, whether it's reinvestment, whether it's, get a $30,000 credit card and boop, Destined Rivals, whatever new set it is, and continue that snowball. So that's the way I look at it. Again, Destined Rivals has been very huge in building my portfolio, and I look forward to what it continues to do in the future. However, I have to also look at the business side of it. As again, I'm not just an investor. My investments have gone to the side. There for a while I was buying investments and not trying to grow the business. But at this point, it is focused fully on business until I hit that August, September timeframe. And I look at, is it time to get another credit card? Again, that's what works for me and my family with our financial situation. Dig deep, figure out what works for you. If you don't have a stable job or stable income from the business that can pay off those credit cards, please, for the love of God, don't sign up for a credit card. Don't put yourself in debt. Make sure you're making the best decisions for yourself. And as always, guys, if you've made it all the way through, thanks for being here, and we'll see you in the next video.